Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. The VA itself is blocking its benefits employees from speaking freely to the department's lawyers. This is kind of a curious thing, and I wanted to jump into it here because this information just came out on March 20th, 2025, and I'm sharing it with you here today. There's so many moving pieces right now. It's just good to be aware of what's happening, what kind of collateral effects could we see, and then also how can we navigate the VA system in a fog, right? So here we go. Before we jump into it, though, I want to throw in a very special thank you to Lawrence Trujillo 65. Lawrence, my brother, thank you so much for your super comment, super chat. It's just, I don't even know. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you. All right. So Lawrence Trujillo 65, you're a rock star, sir. Thank you. I appreciate the support. All right, jumping into it. The headline here, and I'm on Government Executive's website here, and the headline: VA blocks its benefits employees from speaking freely to department's lawyers. So, what are we looking at? It says, as kind of a sub headline here, attorneys at VA who play a key role in helping veterans receive benefits are the latest to face political sidelining. So let's see what's going on here. Hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. It really does help the channel to expand its reach. At the end of the day, if veterans as a group aren't informed, we can't do anything. If we're informed, we actually can create some sort of a movement in whatever way we can, right? As we pass this information on by hitting the thumbs up and letting the video run, those two things alone really helps to expand the reach. All right, so the Veterans Affairs Department has instructed employees in its benefits office not to interact with VA's cadre of attorneys without direct permission from political leadership, raising questions as to how employees there will seek legal advice. Interesting. So again, this is in the benefits side. So a lot of the stuff we see, I think currently has been really geared toward the healthcare side, honestly. But now we're looking at the benefits administration side. So let's see. The Veterans Benefits Administration, the VBA, frequently turns to VA Office of General Counsel for questions on adjudicating claims, handling legislation, and interpreting new laws and directives. Cheryl Mason, a senior advisor to VA Secretary Doug Collins, gave directions that VBA business lines and staff offices, in quotations here, should have no direct contact with OGC, Office of General Counsel, without first receiving permission from Mason, according to a series of emails recently sent to staff and obtained by government executive. Another quotation here: that means no one in VBA should make a call or send an email to anyone in OGC without prior approval, according to one such email. The policy appears to mark the latest effort by the administration to sideline career attorneys. It has fired or pushed out lawyers in key roles at the Justice Department. It has also consolidated the General Counsel's regional presence within the Health and Human Services Department, going from 10 offices down to 4, and beginning the layoff process for 2/3 of those staff. Employees were originally told they could not communicate with any attorneys at OGC, even at the regional level, but the policy was subsequently loosened to allow for such engagement so long as every interaction was tracked and reported up to the senior advisor level. Regional office employees were tasked with, when interacting with the regional VA counsel, recording the date of the interaction, with whom they met, the nature of the discussion, and how long the interaction lasted. Now, remember that on the benefits side, you have regional offices. These regional offices are where all the VA employees are, unless they're working from home, but everybody's brought back. So where everybody should be at these regional offices, and when you file a claim, your claim goes to a regional offices and worked on there. Now, in a lot of cases, they'll end up internally transferring them to ideally whatever regional office is not as busy that can help pick up the slack of a more busy one. So they'll move these files around electronically in between these regional offices. But nonetheless, a VA employee at a regional office is working on your claim. So this is what they're talking about with the regional offices. So Mason, the senior advisor directing the new policy, is President Trump's nominee to serve as Assistant Secretary for VA's Office of Accountability and Whistleblower Protection. VA established the office in Trump's first term as a pathway for employees to disclose wrongdoing and protect those workers from retaliation, though it has not always delivered on that promise. Which I don't know. Anyway, so that's, I don't know. I don't know enough about that to know if they've not delivered on that. So, running rogue. VA's General Counsel Office employs more than 600 attorneys and around 900 employees in total. In an update to its website in January on the General Counsel's office role, VA noted its attorneys ensure legally compliant implementation of VA laws, particularly those involving benefits and health care for veterans. OGC also protects VA from litigation outcomes that inhibit efficient services to veterans and helps oversee a legally sound and timely claims process for veterans. So, my question is, I don't know. So this is what it says that it does, right? This is what OGC does, is what it's saying here. So, legally compliant implementation of VA laws, particularly those involving benefits and health care for veterans. OGC also protects VA from litigation outcomes that inhibit efficient service to veterans, and it helps oversee legally sound and timely claims appeal process for veterans. There you go. All right. OGC maintains a benefit law group set up to work directly with VBA. It is not immediately clear what impact the new directive will have on that partnership. Richard Sauber, VA's former general counsel under President Biden, said the new policy that had the potential for gumming up the works within VA. He saw only two potential motives for the change: to either stop VBA employees from getting legal advice, which he called a huge negative, or to slow down the process sufficiently so things don't get done. The implication is that they have some underlying fear that legal advice that the 600 dedicated civil servants, many of whom are themselves veterans, would somehow not be in line with what their political views are. Dave Lehman, a private sector attorney accredited with the VA to help veterans receive the benefits they have earned, said there could be a drastic impact from the new policy limiting OGC's interaction with VBA. They're taking VBA and essentially running it rogue outside of any legal oversight, Lehman said. He noted that VA attorneys can issue presidential rulings, or not presidential, procedural, close enough, rulings on important benefits adjudication cases, which VBA employees then lean on to determine whether to grant veterans benefits in the future. In one example, with far-reaching impacts, OGC has set the precedent that veterans qualify for benefits if a service-connected issue caused them to gain weight, or being overweight in turn caused a disability. So oftentimes you'll see sleep apnea because you're overweight, but then you got to show that you're overweight because of something else that's service-connected, right? So a service-connected issue caused them to gain weight, and being overweight in turn caused a disability. So an example would be you have a service-connected hypothyroid condition, and that hypothyroid condition caused you to gain weight, and then you subsequently had sleep apnea, for example. All right, moving on. OGC has played a key role, Lehman added, in helping VA determine which conditions are presumed to be service-connected in light of the PACT Act. The law passed in 2022 newly presumed that veterans facing respiratory illnesses after deploying to areas that utilized burn pits were service-connected. VBA also contracts companies to conduct exams for veterans filing disability claims to help determine their eligibility. OGC works closely with VBA to provide oversight of those contracts to investigate when firms are suspected of not meeting their obligations. The new policy follows the administration's recently pushed out a career attorney It had tapped to serve as the Food and Drug Administration's general counsel after she was deemed insufficiently opposed to abortion rights, which was first reported by the New York Times. Justice has purged lawyers from its ranks, casting aside their civil service protections. It just kind of keeps going on here. Hopefully it'll swing back to VA. At HHS, employees impacted by the OGC consolidation told government executive key work will now not get done. Department Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. has insisted the 4 remaining regional offices will have the same capacity as the 10 did previously, but the employees said that is not possible. Impacted regions are handling close to 5,000 administrative appeals, according to one attorney now slated for removal, and are supporting the department in litigation worth billions of dollars. Oversight of nursing homes, hospitals, and laboratories is expected to take particularly a hard hit, employees said, as those facilities can appeal when they are cited for violations such as failing to follow a physician's orders or not having working sprinklers. OGC then gets involved to litigate those appeals. It similarly plays a key role when the Centers for Medicine and Medicaid Services opts to revoke or suspend entities' eligibility to participate in Medicare due to fraud. Basically, if you know someone who is a resident in a nursing home, receives care in a hospital, or gets lab test results, be concerned, one employee said. Another impacted staffer said HHS will now be less capable of providing oversight meant to protect vulnerable populations. What VBA, again, Veterans Benefits Administration, wants to do with the data is it will now collect on its OGC interactions, and why it wants to restrict access to attorneys at VA Washington headquarters remains unclear. The department is currently developing a plan to slash its overall workforce to fiscal 2019 levels, resulting in cuts of up to 83,000 positions. The lawyers were really instrumental in getting veterans their appropriate benefits and smoothing out the obstacles in the bureaucracy. So I don't really understand it, said Sauber, the former head of VA's OGC. I can't think of a way in which this is going to benefit veterans. VA spokesperson told government executive this common sense reform will help VA avoid repeating some of the costly legal mistakes it made during the Biden administration, such as the inexplicable decision to pay more than $130 million to employees who were fired or for misconduct during the first Trump administration. All right, so that concludes it. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you so very much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.